Yeah,
and then we'll get into it. All righty, everybody. Kicking it with Walt on my end, and Walt's probably kicking it with me. Josh Dunn.
Absolutely.
A weird sort of I always talk to people about like the weird double start thing where it's like the Zoom meeting starts and it's me and you talking, and then like the show will start, and then there's the exact same conversation we just had. We have to repeat, kind of like, "Hey man, how you doing?" Yeah. And introduce yourself. Nice to meet. Yeah, that's exactly it. Introduce yourself, man. Let's see what you're about. What's your podcast about? What's your life about?
So the way I describe myself, father, husband, yes to life, and a gym rat. Oh, yeah. And I have a unquenchable thirst for all the weird knowledge and little tidbits in the world. So that's why I started my podcast, Walt's Kitchen Table. You can find that everywhere. Website, waltskitchentable.com. And it's just conversation, growing up. Even now, if somebody came over to your house, where are they going to hang out? Kitchen table, right?
Kitchen table.
In the kitchen. Yeah. That's where everybody hangs out. And some of the best life lessons, stories, conversations, cries, laughs, everything I've had around the kitchen table. So that's why I call it kitchen table. The only thing it has to do with eating is that's what I like to do. So
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do.
But that's why I call it the table, kitchen tables, because that's if I came over to your house, we'd probably be hanging out that table right behind you.
100%. I guarantee we would.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. What was that the only reason why it started? Like for me, it was like that weird sort of gap with COVID. It was like a weird way for me to quench my social thirst for just chatting to strangers. I'm one of those guys, like we're using the thing before is like when you go to the pub, right? I'll have a full blown conversation or argument with anybody. Anyone.
I like how you said conversation and argument.
Sometimes it's horrible. Like I've had the arguments, but it's this weird experience. So the last time I went out, I had it was like a full blown argument with this guy about how like time works in space, and it's like, our week isn't like the same week in space. And he's like, "No, you're wrong." And I was like, "You were dumb." I was like, "You were too old to be this stupid." Yeah. But you have a little bit of that, the whiskey courage, and I was like, "Did you learn anything in school?" And it was like this full blown argument, and it was like a weird thing for me because it was always like he got up and he got really mad and he left, and he was like, "You're an idiot, just shut up," left. And I was like, all right, well, that's done. Easy solved, right? He just went to the bar to get another drink to come back and continue the argument with me. He needed a drink break.
You got to love people like that. I'll do that all night long.
Yeah, that's right. And I love that. I live for it. I live for just, I think even like an argument setting, it's fun. You get to learn people and what they're about and how they think and sort of react to certain things. And I think that's what we lack, I guess. As humans, we jump to assumptions very quickly about a particular group, and then that's it. So I'd rather have an argument with somebody than just assume.
No, 100%. And it's funny you bring that up. Something happened to me today I got to tell you about. I was walking into a convenience store, get a drink, right? And I'm quite a ways away from the front door. And this little old lady gets to the front door and she holds it open. And she looks at me and goes, "Come on, youngster, I ain't got all day." And I about fucking pissed my pants, dude. I was laughing so hard. I run, I kind of scoot up there. I'm like, all right. And I go to give her a fist bump, and she fist bumps me and goes, "Bah," and walks away. And I was like, this is the type of people we need in the world right now.
Yeah.
Just cool. Just like, hey man, I'll hold the door open. No ego, doesn't care, and that lady is a yes to life. I bet you she's got some fucking stories.
Oh, 100%.
If that's her attitude, And then most of the time you walk into a convenience store, the person in front of you opens the door just wide enough for them to scoot in, and they don't even look behind them. And I'm like, "Hey, don't worry. I'll get it.
Yeah.
And I open the door and they just like give me a bad look. I'm like, come on, man, just open the. So
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
it's little things, right? I live in a I don't know if it's just here, but I swear it happens more in my hometown. So I'm from Canberra, and I've had this like frequently. Like this is like a weekly basis. I'll be walking through like a shopping center or a mall or something, and they'll be like, I usually walk against the wall, like the shop fronts, right? So it's just to stay out of people's way, and I can see when people are coming in and out. People will walk, so here's a wall, here's me. They will walk like here, coming into me, and you're like, you've got a world of room, man. Like you've got and then you're like, what are you doing? And like, get out of my way. And I'm like, I'm in your way. Is that how that works? It's like I'm pressed against this wall. I'm like, where the fuck do you want me to go? I'm like, do you want me to get into the store and wait for you to pass? And they're like, yeah.
They're like, hey, but dude, that's your fault, man.
Yeah.
You're at fault.
Yeah, that's right. It's
like get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
When the whole COVID thing started, I went to the grocery store,
Yeah.
and my schedule for my day job never changed. I never was quarantined. I never did it. I was out every day on the road, all that. But so I would stop, and my wife was pregnant at the time, and we now have a newborn son. And I would go to the store. So when this whole thing started, I was in the grocery line or in the bread aisle. I was the only one in the bread aisle. And I'm sitting there trying to decide what bread I want. This lady comes up. She had sweatpants on and a sweatshirt. Her ankles were taped closed.
Yeah.
She had gloves on and her wrists were taped closed. She had a mask on and a hood all pulled tight and goggles. Comes up and stands right next to me, like almost shoulder to shoulder. Stomps her foot and looks at me and goes, "Social distancing."
Wow.
And I was like, I was here first.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't understand. And she stomped away, and I was like, what the fuck just happened?
What has just happened? It's a weird like you're gonna look at these people as like individuals and be like, what the fuck is happening in your life to be that like, you know what I mean? Like deprived from any sort of like, it's not even attention. It's like you're not assertive in any other aspect of your life. So you found this one thing that you're gonna go like walk into people, when they're walking in front of you, or, go into a bread aisle and assert some dominance there because that's the only place you can, you know what I mean?
You can.
They go to their work and they just get shit on all the time. And it's like, they may be in a bad relationship and like nobody listens to them there. So they're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tape up my tracksuit and then go harass somebody in a bread aisle. Like that'll show. Yep. And then they go back to their friends the next day and they're like, you should have seen what I done. Right. And they're on fucking Instagram. They're like, I told this guy that I walked up to in the bread aisle to fuck off. And everyone's like, oh my God.
But the thing
so independent.
Is though, but in her story would be this guy walked up to me. And
they'll change it up.
She's not gonna, she's not gonna say the whole story. But speaking of that too is, you see that video flying around because you know how the cop, I don't know what it is like over there, but over here, everybody's like angry at the world.
Yeah.
And so they push their anger on everything and they're hollering at cops mostly.
Yeah.
Every cop is an asshole and bad, which I don't agree with, but there's a bad apple in every group.
Oh, 100%.
Pick any group you want and you could pick out a few assholes. Right. And, this lady was just going off on this dude.
Is this the guy in the train?
No, a cop pulled a lady over.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Mexican fella? I've seen so many of these.
That's okay. There was an African-American lady like in a white Mercedes and she's like, "You're a murderer."
Yeah, that one. He was a Mexican.
Oh my.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Imagine just trying to do your job. And she was on the phone. I'm going to see if I can fucking find this video so I can show people. It was insane. Oh, yeah. I remember watching it and I just been like, how the fuck do you get away with it? Like how does what a patient man
that
to just be like, here's your ticket, fuck off. You know,
and she's a teacher. So what made me think of this video? What made me think of this video was you saying the lady from the bread aisle was going to go tell all her colleagues, right, or tell her friends that she was all righteous.
Yeah.
Imagine what this teacher went and told her colleagues and her students. Oh my God, I was threatened. Because in the video, she's like, "You're threatening my boy and I." And I'm like, he didn't say anything.
You were on your fucking phone while you were driving. You pelican.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's just like it got so crazy towards the end. She's like, "And you'll never be white. Does that bother you? Does that bother you that you'll never be white?" And you're like, "What? What the fuck?
Lady, I'm just trying to enforce the law. That's what I get paid to do."
Well, this is the thing with these videos, right? Like, and a bunch of them have come out where it's like they'll crop it and they'll cut the edges off. You know what I mean? To make it and edit it a little bit to make it seem like this guy's pulled me over for no reason. But at the start of the video, it's like you were driving with your phone, like, and then she's like, "Shouldn't you be out there catching real criminals?" It's like, bitch, you have your kid in the car. You are the real criminal. That makes me so mad.
She didn't even have her license on her.
Wild, right?
She had to show a picture of her license. I was like, "What? How do you get away with that?" But speaking of crop videos, this one came out long time ago. The guy shows, "Hey, this is what was shown in the video," and there's these two cops beating this dude up.
Yeah.
And they go, "This is the beginning of the video where they didn't show." And the two cops were standing next to a van, and the guy came running up and tackled them both against the van.
Yeah.
But they didn't show that part.
That's right. It's like you can. I think it's just like a media thing, right? And it's like we've all become fucking some type of reporter, in a way. You know what I mean? Where it's like the more shocking your video is on TikTok or Instagram, the more likes it gets. And it's just like that poor reporting, right? Where it's like, all right, here's the story. And you're like, that doesn't sell. Like, nobody wants to fucking hear just a regular ass story. Let's fluff it up. Let's throw some stuff in there that may or may not have happened. And oh shit, people are buying it. And then that just sort of like just enables it in your head even more to just fucking tell these outlandish stories about things that may or may not have happened, just to get a few clicks or a few likes. Or it's the odd thing about it, it's like this really weird teenage fucking high school it's like this fucking, my brain is struggling today. Holy shit. Popularity contest, right? And it's like everybody trying to, but the weird thing about it is like these older like women and men doing it, which is so fucking bizarre. Like these people trying to, I don't even know what they're fucking trying to do. Like, who gives a shit what you're doing at the supermarket? And just, you know, like, don't. So the one, I'll bring up the one on the train. I'm going to see if I can find it.
Yeah, I don't know the one on the train.
I think it was in New York, right? And I think they're still pretty locked down. And the police came up and was like, "You need to wear a mask." And she was like, "No, I've got this exemption." And the cop was like, "Well, this isn't real. Like, your medical exemption isn't real or valid at all. So could you please put on a mask?" And she was like, "You're harassing me. I feel triggered." And he's like, "I'm just asking you to put something around your mouth while you're in a train full of people." Right. And it's like, whether you want to believe the COVID thing or not, like, just follow the fucking rules. I don't believe in the speed limit. I just fucking do it. You know what I mean?
That's a great example, dude. Like, I like that.
And if you break the law, there's going to be some sort of consequence to it if you get caught, right?
Yeah.
That's the same fucking thing for everybody. And she was like, "No," and just kept saying no. And then the guy's like, "I'm going to have to remove you from the train." So he went to grab her and she started like kicking him. And he's like, "Well, now you've assaulted a police officer." And the whole time she's like, "You're a fucking pig, a pig." And you're like, just do what you're told, man. Just put the fucking thing over your face. If you're going to go 2 more stops, what is it going to hurt? Like, it's not going to fucking kill anybody. You're not going to die because you're not medically exempt. You just made that up. Just put the fucking thing on your face. I don't know. So I'm going to show this video of the one that we were just talking about.
All right.
It's on Reddit under entitled bitch.
Rightly titled.
Oh, it's perfect. It's so good. It really makes me happy that these people are getting called out. Let me see if I can just adjust the frame a little bit. You should be able to hear it. All right. Let's go.
At 38.
Yes, you are, ma'am. Good morning.
And the speed limit is 40, and I was going 38.
Can you hear
so
that?
Why are you harassing
You are
me?
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
I pulled you over
Because
because
you're a murderer.
because
Yes, I started to record because you're a murderer.
you can't be on your cell phone
I
while you're
wasn't on
driving.
my phone. I was recording you because you scared me.
You can't use your cell
I
phone
can
while you're
record
recording.
you.
May I have your driver's license?
It's at my apartment.
Where is it? It's at our
What's your
apartment.
apartment?
Where is
At
it?
my home.
It's the law to have your driver's
Do
license.
you have your driver's license?
I mistakenly left it at home.
Do you
I
have a picture of
mistakenly
your
left
driver's
it
license?
alone.
Yes, I
Which,
do.
you know what? Okay. If you're going to mistake it, that's
And
fine.
can you call
Like,
your
sometimes you forget your
supervisor?
wallet or whatever.
I
But, like,
already
just
did. He's on
go.
his way.
Good, 'cause you're
Don't be a
murderer.
dickhead about
Okay.
it.
Oh, right there.
And so
Can you
you're
call
giving
your
me a cell
supervisor
phone
because you're
ticket?
threatening me?
Straight up.
Why you're harassing me?
Not harassment. I am enforcing the law,
I
ma'am.
have a right to record the police when they're harassing me.
By all means, but you can't do it while you're driving.
I
Simple.
wasn't
Just a
texting
simple
or
rule.
none of that.
Do you have
And
that
you
picture?
scared me and made me think you were going to murder me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Straight up. That's what I felt too. I saw that 100%.
I'm going to say that next time I get pulled over.
You see how well that turns out for.
Murderer! And I'm a teacher. So
And
there.
I'm a
Congratulations.
teacher. I hope she
You're a
loses her
murderer.
job. That's pretty
Oh.
bad.
I can't
But
see that there.
come on, you
Well,
can't be
there you
teaching
go.
kids.
Stop
Murderer.
shaking.
Look at that. Here
Zoom in
you,
on that for
No,
me.
because
like
you're
the-
scaring me.
I'm
You're
I'm
threatening
shaking because
to
you're
kill me
scaring
and
me.
my son.
Yeah.
Can you give me
Okay.
the
Well,
iPad,
I'll
please?
tell you what. You keep smiling. You're on camera.
You're trying to threaten to kill me.
I
I'm not
didn't say that.
smiling. You're the one who's.
How
Hold that still. I
wild.
can't see that. Is this your car?
Yes, it is. And you're trying to say I stole my own car because you're jealous.
Wait, this is the best
Yeah.
part.
Is that what
I don't
that's
think so.
about?
Because you're
You wait for me
jealous.
right here, okay?
You're jealous.
Citation. All you need to do is your signature. He's only citing you for using your cell
Mexican
phone while you're
racist.
driving. That's it.
Yeah.
There you go, ma'am. Sign
You're
inside
good.
the red
Being
box
a,
right
for
there.
him being
Really-
a Mexican racist.
Really
What
ramped
is
up
that
towards the
name?
end here.
It's on the
Gasso.
citation, ma'am.
Here you go, Mexican racist.
Mexican
You're always
racist.
going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right? You'll never be white, which is what you really want.
There you go. Have a good day.
That's just fucking crazy, dude. I
Like,
don't get it.
Like, what
I just don't get it.
What the fuck is happening over there? For like, I like it happens everywhere. I get that. I understand, but it seems like there's a ton of it over in the States at the moment.
So my theory on that, you know what the problem is? We don't got no fucking problems.
Somebody brought this up. Ah, my goodness. I think it was on like I hate to keep saying it, but a Joe Rogan podcast. I think he was quoting like Jacko or someone like that, where he was like, we got nothing else to complain about, so we're making things to complain about.
I totally believe that. I've
Yeah.
been saying that since for years and years and years. And I heard somebody else say this, and I don't know who it was. That lady is recording him. I'm using her. They didn't use her for an example, but I'll use her. She's recording him on a $1,200 cell phone,
Yeah,
driving probably a $80,000 Mercedes.
that's exactly right.
What the fuck you got to complain of? What?
Yeah, and you know,
And
that
and you
ain't
go
that ain't
home.
that ain't a teacher car either. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Teachers
I know,
don't
right?
make Mercedes money, so obviously her partner's doing pretty well as well. You know, he's doing all right. They've got this comfortable, you know, life. And she's like, you know what? I hate Mexicans. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, what
Yeah,
happened?
but yeah. Where'd that come from? Right. I think a lot of that stuff. I think the definition of, or part of the definition of racism is uneducated, right?
Yeah, it's definitely like ignorant, like not wanting to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And then being insult, or is it insulted? Being insulted is a sign of narcissism and low intelligence.
It definitely all goes into people have a lot of trouble looking inside themselves and wondering why. It's like I was having a chat to a good friend of mine, a goodish friend, Hannah, and she was talking about jealousy, right? And like you got to think all of these like sort of explosive things that we do in terms like anger and all that sort of stuff is generally internal. You know what I mean? So it's like jealousy comes from insecurities. You think you're not worthy enough, so you think somebody's going to leave you, and yada yada yada. And then same with like racism and stuff. It's like this complete imbalance inside yourself. And once again, you want to feel better and superior than somebody, so you lower whatever it is, a race, a class, a whatever, to prop yourself up and feel a little sense of superiority.
100%.
And it's just once again there's that ignorance and not wanting to learn, because as soon as you learn, that takes that platform away. Where, like, how can you be a racist if you get to know them and just see that they're real people? You can't. And then if you're not a racist, if you are a racist, still you can use that to prop yourself up and be better, and you can be the fandangle bitch in the Mercedes, thinking you're hot shit, but really you're just you're an insecure bitch. Realistically, you're just like you're ignorant, and whatever you need to do to prop yourself up just makes you an even worse human.
No, I agree with that 100%. Where that's all triggered from the inside.
Yeah, it has to be. It's like like it's this. It stems from like a weird tribalism, right? Over like eons and eons of time, where it was like, particular parts of the world were better to live in because we didn't have like housing when we're in like these small tribes, and then tribes used to start taking over other tribes to whatever, because they had more food or something like that, right? So it's like this weird thing that's sort of ingrained in us to fear something that's different and unknown. It's our immediate reaction to certain things. Certain people run towards it, and certain people run away from it. But most people, they fear it. And then what's their, especially on like a human level where there's not a lot of repercussions. Like for that lady, there's obviously been no repercussions in her life to disable that type of mentality. So she just keeps going.
And it just keeps escalating, right?
Yeah, but she's never sat down with anybody. She's never had a discussion. It's just an automatic assumption. Her and her white, dusty-ass friends, her, Sharon, and Debbie, they're all fucking drinking mojitos, complaining about, like, their life, even though there's, like, middle, upper class is so fucking horrible because these Mexicans are coming over the border and taking jobs that we're not going to do anyway. You know what I mean?
I love you say that.
It's
I love that you said that.
I've had so many arguments with people. Like here we have Asian people here, we have Indian people, we have them all, right? And then when there's a lot of, to say it without sounding like an asshole, there was a big influx of Indian people coming to Canberra, and a lot of people complaining about it. I'm like, what are you fucking complaining about? I was like, you have a cushy office job sitting on your fucking ass. And like, well, they're taking all the other jobs. I'm like, they're taking jobs that you are too high and mighty to fucking take. Like, you feel like your shit don't stink, and you'd rather sit on the dole rather than go to 16 hours of washing cars for fucking $12 an hour or whatever they pay them. You know what I mean? And it's like, they've got things because they work for them. You know what I mean? And they work hard for them. And then you sit back there complaining about it because you're not willing to do the work. Yeah,
I use they're not willing to clean toilets and take the trash out and make beds and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they'll bitch about the person doing it.
That's exactly right. And they took our jobs. It wasn't your job to begin with. You didn't have a chance. You didn't have a fucking chance in the world.
Yeah, I don't see them sitting next to you in your cubicle trying to take that job from you.
Yeah, but it's like, I think the weird thing is like to complain about them because they have homes or they've got businesses. And it's like, so here they used to be like, oh, like China's taking over everything. They own all the shops and the houses. And you're kind of like, yeah, there's a bit of like a government thing involved, but you can't like boil it down to an individual level and demonize a family for buying a house because they outworked you. You know what I mean? It should,
yeah, 100. Yeah. We see a ton of that over here as well. And I lived out in I live in New Jersey. So
Yep.
and I work in New Jersey City, which is right next to New York City, just on the water. So I get a lot of that. But I was in Colorado for a long time, and that was a lot of Hispanics coming up, and we ran into that. Oh, they're taking our jobs. I didn't see you sitting on the back of a garbage truck.
Yeah, that's right. It's
So where did he take that from?
that's
Well,
right.
That wasn't his job. He's willing to do it for $12 an hour, whatever they're paying.
Yeah,
And he's going to do it for 15 hours a day, 7 days a week.
no complaints.
Because he knows, and he's going to take half his money and send it back to his family in Mexico.
Yeah, what an asshole,
And
right?
him and yeah, fucking clown.
Yeah,
What the hell is he thinking?
Provide for his family.
Yeah.
What a dickhead.
Yeah, right. Hey, dude, I got to tell you, man, I listened to I think it was your latest episode. I got to finish listening to the dude with the flat earth.
Oh, this is the second one I've had on. It's
I don't want
ongoing.
to run that.
It's ongoing.
I don't
for
want to
me.
run that subject into the ground, but I just had to tell
Let's
you.
do it. Let's open it. It's good to talk to somebody on the other side of it, and I think this is this immediately relates to what we're going through now. This resurgence of fucking flat Earth has to be because we've got nothing better to do.
That's it.
It's like like life is so fucking good at the moment. It's boring. You know how you hear those people in relationships and like it's too easy. I'm bored. You know what I mean? I'm breaking up with them.
Yeah.
Like you're a dickhead. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like I need some spice, and then complains about it being fucking hard because they made it hard. It's the same fucking thing. But the
Well, it's just like when
sorry, you go.
it's when somebody with drama. I got so much drama in my life.
Yeah. Why?
That's on you, dude.
Yeah. Don't bring it over
Well,
here.
he did this and he did this and this happened and this happened. And I'm like, why don't you look at the common denominator?
Yeah, that's it. But that's exactly right. And this flat Earth thing is really coming back with a vengeance. And it's hard to talk to one of them, to a flat earther, because it's so there's no room outside of it. There's no critical thinking at all. You know, like you could talk to me and go, the Earth is flat, and I can take the information and go, yeah, like some parts of it you kind of go, oh yeah, you can see that. But with them, it's like when I was saying to this guy, I was like, why does it always have to be attached to other things? I was like, why can't it just be flat Earth? And I was like, it's not just flat Earth. It's like it's flat Earth, and the government's out to get you, and Jesus is hating everybody because you guys are sinning, and you know, there's all these like weird little things attached to it to reinforce such a simple thing. And I was like, why instead of putting all this external shit on, just focus on the one thing? And they haven't answered that question yet. I haven't got no response.
I've never sat down and talked to somebody that honestly believes the Earth is flat, and I would love to.
Hit them up.
Yeah, I know they're
send you
probably everywhere, aren't they?
I'll send you their email, man. Hit them up.
So it's like, so you're telling me the government and NASA has hidden all this stuff and made us think that the world is round, and on and on and on. And my question is, why?
Yeah. All right. So this is their thing, and this is what doesn't make sense. Like, because like the world is flat, and then around it is Antarctica, where there's like that big wall, and then beyond that is unlimited resources. And then you're like, oh, okay. You're like, well, why does Jeff Bezos live here then? If he had, like, if he had all the money, like literally all the money in the world, wouldn't he be on the other side of the ice fence? Like,
You'd be like, fuck you.
Fucking-
What is this, Game of Thrones?
like,
There's an
yeah,
ice
that's
wall?
right. Like living it up. Like, but that's the thing. It's like they pull things from like the ice wall came up after that. Like, you're like, what, you think we're dumb and we didn't see the fuck? It came on TV, and then like a week later, some dickhead from Flat Earth is like, it's a big
There's
ice
an ice
wall.
wall.
It's unbelievable.
Now,
man.
see, this is what I don't understand about him too. And again, I got to finish listening to that episode. Is the ice wall. I didn't hear that one yet. So, but like, don't you think we'd find the end of it eventually?
No, it's a conspiracy. The government won't let you. You're not allowed to. That's why you're not allowed to go there. And I was like, I know people who've been there. Like, yeah, no, it's just like one little ice shelf that they can go on. They've got an answer for everything, man. But they got no proof on it. which is bananas. They've got an answer for everything, but not backed by anything substantial. Like, I'm like, where's your evidence? Oh, we haven't done it yet. Like, okay.
So have you seen any videos or talked to anybody, even the slightest little thing that you might go, the earth might be flat?
Where I think it's flat. Is that what you're saying?
What's that?
Is that like where I think it's flat? Where
You're like, so have you seen, like, talking to the people and seeing videos, have you seen anything that even gives you the slightest proof?
Yeah, like, I guess when when we all walk out and, onto your balcony and you look straight out, you're like, well, pretty flat. Yeah, that's that's where it ends, that's where it starts, and that's where it finishes. Like, even in that last one, he tried to do the same thing. He's like, look, there's a lake there.
Yeah, Lake Tahoe, right?
Yeah, it's like, where's the curvature? I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, you had me fucking cracking up. I was driving down the road, and you're like,
I couldn't do it.
Hey, dude, we've known that the Earth's been around for like a hot minute.
Like, yeah, just just fucking a tidbit, man. Like, but like, I think it relates immediately back to all this other bullshit that's going on. People trying to, like, with the internet and access to, you have access to everybody around the world. It's made your social groups much larger, and everybody wants to be the popular kid, and everybody wants to feel special. So they jump into these groups, like, and then they go,
and just come up with all sorts of crazy shit just to be the loudest guy in the room.
It's like, I'm the head of the Flat Earth Committee, and you're like, whoop-de-doo. Like, nobody gives a fuck except for you and your six mates. Like, I think people really, I think they need to take a step back and just go, you're not as important as you think, but you're important to the people around you, right? And you don't need to flex your importance on other people, It's like,
right.
It's like me going around and telling all you Americans that I'm Australian and I'm better because I live on the bottom of the planet rather than the top, Just, I'm going to make a group, Bottom Earthers.
Yeah, dude. No, hey, dude, you're just on the east side of the flat Earth, man. You're not on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, I
come
forgot.
on, dude.
Yeah,
come on.
So you haven't spoken to any flat earthers yet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I'll send you some emails, man. You got to hit them up. It's a ride. They do a lot of talking. So what if you do talk to one, you got to let them go for like 30 seconds and then stop them, and then say something, and then let them go for 30 seconds and stop them. Otherwise, it's like this 9-minute monologue of fucking everything.
Yeah.
My cell phones are bad, and
it's like that age-old joke. Now I put being vaccinated in it. When somebody that's a CrossFitter, a vegan, and somebody's been vaccinated walks in a room, they fucking tell everybody.
It's the same thing, right? There's no Fight Club anymore, man.
Huh?
There's no Fight Club anymore. The first rule about Fight Club, it's like the first rule of CrossFit. Tell everybody you do CrossFit.
Oh, that's pretty good, dude. You don't CrossFit. You're not into that, right?
I did it. I liked it. But all right, so let's backpedal a little bit. I had a fantastic coach. He was a
CrossFit coach?
Yeah, a no bullshit. I think it's like if you go to like a regular gym and you brag about going to some shitty, like, I think you guys have like a Planet Fitness over there, which is like, ours is like Anytime, just buckets of shit, and you're like, oh, I'm super fit. And then there's like legit gyms, right? I went to like the legit one, and he was really good. I learned a lot in terms of like for myself being a personal trainer, but I have been to an abundance of fucking horrible CrossFit gyms.
I can't even imagine.
You know what I mean? And the cult-like nature of it doesn't apply to all of them, but it applies to that 15, 20% that it does apply to are so fucking loud about it. You know what I mean?
Well, going back to what we were talking about, that's any group that you get, right? 80%, 90% are just cool. They mind their business. They're going about their day. And that 10% is so fucking loud that it seems like half the population is into that, but it's only such a small group, but they're just so loud about it. Now with the internet and everything else, that they can just plow you over with that. It just gets overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's a shame about certain things, like doing stuff like this. It's like I've obviously listened to a bunch of podcasts, and the ones that haven't been around forever are like these. Like I guess you look at like TikTokers and YouTubers. It's like the more extreme you are, the more notice you're gonna get. It's like normal doesn't cut it. Like a good conversation like this doesn't cut it anymore unless it's like edgy or it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't want to. I guess we're like feeling junkies, and we want to feel shocked and awed and scared and happy.
Yeah, because we're so fucking bored with our life to begin with. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, you work in a cubicle farm, you get stuck in traffic most of the time. You probably come home to a spouse that doesn't like you, and then you stare. Right. Then you stare at the TV all night, and then you don't get a good night's sleep because you stuffed your face with Doritos and Mountain Dew, and then you're wondering why you don't feel good.
That's a lot of lives, you know. There's a lot of people living the same life, man. It's that 9 to 5, but there's no. Once again, they're the people that lash out, you know, to feel a little bit of sense of importance, but their sense of importance doesn't come from within. It goes from lashing out at other people. You know, nobody wants to make big change in their life. Do you know what sucks?
No,
changing your life. It's horrible.
Yeah,
it takes effort.
It takes a lot of work.
Do you know what's easy?
And effort.
Stuffing your face full of shit, going to the same job you fucking hate every day. It's super easy. Like, that's why so many people fucking do it. Like, it's so easy.
The other thing, too, is I believe that, you know, women had this as well, but you brought it up earlier, going way back into, like, tribal days and, like, even caveman days and that kind of thing. I have a theory with nowadays. I'm going to go around in a circle a little bit, but I'll bring it back.
Do it.
Nowadays, too, with like the kitchen and the table, you know, 2,000 years ago, that was a fire pit. And if the guys came home with a bunch of grub, that was a successful hunt. And now we're sitting around the fire and we're celebrating by eating. So I think it's built into our DNA to eat, to celebrate. Now, that being said, I also believe it's in our DNA, us as being a man. Of course, women have it too, but being a man, we have to get some kind of aggression out. Now, I get it out at the gym, right? I try to break something at the gym every day. Not me. I try to break equipment at the gym.
Yeah.
Well, I've broken too, but so that gets some aggression out, and it calms me down and it cools me down. But if you're that person going stuck in traffic, stuck in a cubicle, stuck in traffic, eating shitty, not liking being at home and stuff, where's your aggression going?
Yeah.
On fucking Twitter, on Instagram.
To your partner, to your kids, to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but even on the internet, because you can't come back at me. I can type all day long.
Yeah.
And I feel good about it. I got my aggression out.
Yeah.
But I don't 3 likes on conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't have to have conflict with you because I'm not face to face with you anymore.
Yeah. I think Mike Tyson said it the best. He was like, a lot of people they're now used to saying things without getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Yep. You know? There's nothing else we can add to that, right?
Well, that's a problem with Twitter, right? It's like you can immediately write your thoughts straight onto something. And once things are on the internet, it's very hard to get them off. And it's just that raw emotion. But then there's, like I said, if you're just a general run-of-the-mill kind of guy or girl, those tweets don't have any impact on your life, but they're out there. You know what I mean? It's those like aggressions that are just fucking like attacking people, you know, because you had a bad day. And it's like, go say it to somebody's face.
And you saw a fraction of somebody's conversation and it triggered you.
Oh, yeah.
And now you write a half a page of tweets on there venting about it.
It's definitely a different time, man. It's very hard to understand. I agree with you in terms of the aggression thing. I don't think it's too much of an aggression. Guys need to learn how to balance their lives. And like, I'm not going to speak for women because I don't fucking understand. Nobody understands women except for women. You know what I mean?
And they rule the world, man.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I don't get it.
As soon as you think you understand them, wrong. You're wrong. They're going to throw you a curveball and it's going to fuck you up. But with men, it's like, especially for myself, and I found it, like, I used to be a very angsty teenager, incredibly aggressive. I thought the world owed me something because I didn't grow up the way other people did. You know what I mean? And it's that weird aggression that you have to translate in terms of not so much like physical aggression. You need to learn how to vent. You need to learn how to release that pressure tap, you know what I mean? And mine is the gym. Like, I do love going to the gym. It's more of a mental thing than a physical thing for me. But then there's stuff like this. I think just like chatting. Men need to learn how to just chat, you know? None of this fucking go to the pub and after 35 beers, fucking just hug the next guy next to you and tell him you want to buy a bar. Just sit down and have like a fucking chat. Like, it's really bizarre. Like, I think it's, especially my generation, my dad, like that old school generation, didn't know how to like, it was don't complain. Complaints aren't going to get you anywhere, and don't cry, and all you get is like you're either happy or you're angry, and they're the two things that you can feel, and anything outside of it is kind of like a weakness. But it's weird being like me. Like, I study psychology now because it's like this open door, and it's weird how I talk to my friends now and they go, "Holy shit, I didn't know other people thought that." Like, especially men, you know what I mean? It's like all these thoughts are just fucking buried in your head, and everybody has the same reaction when things are just jammed in your head and in your mind, and you dwell on it, and it sits there, and it sits there all fucking day, and it sits there all night, and you're like, fuck, I do hate my job, and I can't tell my boss that I fucking hate my job, and you know, and this isn't working, and I don't look the way I want, and whatever, and it just fucking sits there because no one can go out and go, look, I got this problem, what do I do? You know? Where it's like, I think women, once again, this is a very broad generalization. Let's not get our knickers in a twist, but they chat, they talk, they, you know, and it's always looked as like if you're, that's oversensitive for a guy, but it's okay for a woman. Like, I think we need to learn to balance that a little better. And then there's definitely the physical side also applies to both genders in terms of depression, anxieties. A good old-fashioned walk or a good old-fashioned gym session will sort you out real quick. You know, clean up your diet. It's super simple things that really tip that immediately on its head. As soon as you start seeing, you know, you go to the gym, you feel an endorphin rush, you start to feel better, and you start to see a little change in yourself, a positive change, and then, you know, positive emotions snowball just like negative ones. So it's like, all right, I feel better. I look a little better. I'm going to start eating better. Let's see how far I can take this. And then you start eating better. And then what happens is your body keeps changing, and it keeps changing and keeps changing. And then other things start to happen. Like, you start to notice people are coming up and talking to you because you don't look like a fucking slob. Like, you've showered and you're taking pride in yourself. You know, you're not eating shit. You don't have fucking Dorito crumbs all down the front of you and stuck on your fingers and shit. You're not sticky from your Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? And then you have a friendship group, and then beyond that, it's like, you know, you start meeting maybe girls. Girls are fun, you know, they're nice, they're good to hang out with, and then, you know, and other aspects of your life start to get better. That's my thoughts on that.
Yeah. Well, no, and I can't disagree with you at all, because, you know, I call it's a military phrase, but I call it command presence, man. When you walk somewhere, just into a store or into your house or to see your buddies, if you're confident, that shows, man. 80% of our communication is nonverbal. So if you're sitting there with your shoulders all slumped and you're like, nobody wants to fucking talk to you.
Yeah.
But if you're back straight and you feel good and hey man, what's up?
Yeah,
dude?
you got a smile on your face. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, check your fucking ego.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you're no better than anybody else.
I think that's where that overcorrection comes in, right? It's like everybody's heard the stories of somebody losing heaps of weight, and then there's that weird overcorrection into egomania. Where
What do you mean by that?
they start to this whole looking good, feeling good, but then they think they look great and they feel great, and then they start like assuming that they're better than other people because they've done something. You know, I guess that's a bit of a minority, but you're definitely right with you. No matter at what stage you're at in life, you really got to check your ego. You got to leave that shit at the door.
Yeah, there's a phrase that I apply it to. It's applied to the gym, but I apply it to everything. It don't fucking matter how many reps the other guy's doing, how many reps you doing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly
I'm not paying attention to what you're doing. Yeah, we're sitting here having a good conversation and hanging out, but do you occupy my mind during the day? Fuck no, dude. I'm taking care of my business.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care what everybody else on Instagram is doing. Sure, do I get on there and flip around? Absolutely. But if I miss a day of posting or I don't put a story up for 6 hours, I don't stress about it. I'm not going to drop what I'm doing to make sure, oh my God, I didn't post today.
Yeah.
I give a fuck, dude. You know?
Yeah, it's also very freeing. Just it's so hard to not give a fuck, but still maintain a good balance for your own life. So when people go, oh, I don't care anymore, it's from a place where they've cared too much, and then not caring is they just make it the opposite of what their caring was. You know what I mean? They've overcared, they didn't get the results they want, so then they completely reverse it. And then obviously get the opposite reaction. They think that's going to be better. Not giving a fuck doesn't mean I absolutely don't give dick about anything. It's like these are the things that I care about. These are the things that bring me joy on the inside. And if you want to be a part of it, fucking jump on. If you don't want to be a part of it, that's fantastic.
Fuck off.
Over there. You know what I mean? Just do it over there.
So I use the term zero fucks, right? You've probably heard that.
Yeah.
Zero fucks given. And people ask me, they're like, yeah, but you do care. I'm like, see, you just don't understand how it goes.
Yeah.
When I say zero fucks given, that means that if you're within arm's reach of me, I'll give you the world.
Yeah.
Because you're in my circle. You need anything, help you out. Now, when one of my coworkers comes up to me and goes, hey, did you hear what Debbie in accounting's doing? I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Does that affect that's taking away my energy to take care of my inner circle.
That's right.
That's where I say zero fucks given.
But that's what it's meant to be like. It's a lot of people looking in other people's backyards instead of looking in their own. You know what I mean? They're worried about the mess in their neighbor's backyard and they get the shit heap in their own. It's it's fucking crazy. Nobody cares about Debbie from accounting and what she's doing. Like nobody.
No.
And if you do care, once again, how boring is your fucking life? I always found that like odd that people have so much fucking time to dig into other people's lives. I am busy, and I don't understand how other people aren't as busy. That they've got so much fucking time to go. All right, I've got my bills. I've got to clean my apartment. I've got to go to the gym. I've got to look after myself. But then I'm going to go over here to fucking what's his face, and I'm going to start picking apart his life. I always found it odd that somebody has so much fucking. We all have the same 24 hours, but apparently other people have more time to dig into people's lives.
Well, no, because they don't want to look into their own.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's what it comes down to is, and I hear a guy, a friend, coworker, the other day goes, hey man, I'm running the convenience store. Can I borrow $10 for some cigarettes? No problem. So I dig it, no problem. Well, you're there, give me a drink. And I dig into my pocket and I got $100 bill. I said, all right, here, dude, bring me some change. And he goes, psh. I was like, you're going to bring me change, right? And he's like, yeah, must be nice. And I go, what would be nice? Because must be nice just to be able to walk around with $100 bill. And I was like, it is.
It's very nice.
I was like, what the
It's actually
Why
10
do you
times better
care
than,
that I got a $100 bill, dude? That's
Especially
what I'm
when-
saying.
Especially
There's
when
a
you're
guy
buying
just-
him something, which is it's just bananas.
So, but that's where I'm talking about, like with people with drama.
Yeah.
That stressed that guy out for half the day.
Oh,
like
yeah.
4 hours later, he's like, dude, I just can't believe you just have $100 bill with you. And I'm like, are you still thinking about that?
Yeah. I call it the pity Olympics. You know?
Pity
It's
Olympics.
the pity Olympics, right? So even in that interview with the flat earth guy, I explained this, and it's like we see people of brilliance every fucking day. They're in your face. The Elon Musks and the LeBron James and the Kardashians, if you want to use them as your idols, and you see these anomalies in human life that you're never going to get to. It's never ever going to happen. Nobody I know is going to become the next Elon Musk. That is for certain, which is okay.
Or Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
You know?
which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So what do? We go the other way, and we go,
Hate on him.
who could be the biggest Debbie Downer? Like, who can have the less sleep? Who gives a fuck? Like, who can
Yeah.
have the harder upbringing? Who can have the fucking... And all of these things are fine, like, to once again, to talk about and discuss, but to use it as a social currency is fucking ridiculous. It's so silly to go... I had this argument constantly with people. I sleep like a bucket of shit. 4-5 hours a night. That's good for me. I enjoy it. But sometimes I'll get 3 or 2. Like the other night I got 3, and I went into work, and I'm like, look guys, I'm a little tired today. I only had a couple of hours sleep. I'll run you through, but I'm not going to be as loud. And they're like, why didn't you sleep? I'm like, I don't sleep well. So I only get a couple of hours. Like, well, look, wait till this happens and you're going to have even less. I'm like, what? Like, what is that? I was just telling you that I don't have any sleep. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, wait till you have kids. Yeah, I will. I will wait till I have kids. Thank you. And I haven't slept for 18 years because of my kids. You know, that's your story. That's great. That is terrific. That's not what I asked for. Once again, it's the pity Olympics. Like, why do you want to compete with me over who's fucking tired?
It's a victim mentality.
Yeah.
I'm a bigger victim than you, and I have it worse than you.
Yeah.
No, why don't we go the other way? Hey man, how's your day going?
Yeah.
Everybody's, fuck, it sucks. Oh, I was in traffic. No, dude, hey, it's a beautiful day out. Oh yeah, but it's hot. And tomorrow you're gonna bitch because it's cold or it's raining. You know, it's like it's never good enough, right?
Yeah.
And going back to what you said about sleep, you know, our newborn, he sleeps from like 9:30 at night to 4:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I take care of him real quick until 6, a little after. I work on podcast stuff. I set the kitchen up for my wife, you know, with bottles and breakfast and all that. I'm in the gym by 7. I'm in my rig by 8.
Damn.
People are like, must be nice.
Yeah, that's right. To have.
They're like, how do you do that? I go,
you just do, man.
I do it. Yeah, just do it. I don't think about it. I don't get up and go, look at me. I'm going to post on Instagram that I'm up at 4:35. Man, it's not for you, dude. What I wanted to tell you though is, you said wait till you have kids. You know the whole sleeping thing.
Yeah.
This guy goes, yeah, that's cool that he sleeps till 4:30. Wait till he has.
Yeah.
He's colic or he's this or that. I go, I don't fucking care, dude.
Yeah. That's right.
Today, he's sleeping through the night.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Just give me it. Leave it. Yeah. All my friends are having kids now, and they've gone through the exact same experience. They like the whole like, oh, how old's your kid? And like 6 months. Yeah. Wait till he's 8 months. You're like, what? Wait till he's 9 months. You know, oh, he's a year. They're a year old. Well, wait till he's 13 months. You know, like it doesn't fucking matter. It's like if you keep.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think it's like super representative of like how people raise their kids. Imagine having that mentality and then trying to raise your kids, right? Immediately, every time you talk about your kids, it's negative. They kept me up. They did this. They did that. They did this. How do you not reflect that straight onto your children? And I think
Well,
it's
yeah,
like a weird
they're
thing.
just a sponge and they're soaking it up.
100%. And what parents don't realize is children pick up not only on words and actions, they can pick up on moods. They can pick up on facial expression. Like this all absorbs into their fucking brain. They can see when you're talking to fucking Debbie from accounting about them. You know what I mean? They can fucking see it because they can see the glares. And this is why fucking even now when you're an adult, you get paranoid when two people are talking and they look at you because it's come from somewhere. You know what I mean? It's bizarre.
Well, the thing too is with our newborn, what I found out is, and I knew this, but to see it in person, they're the perfect barometer of your mood.
Oh yeah.
And you don't have to say or do anything. If you're tense and you grab hold of him, he'll let you know.
Yeah.
You know, if you're all relaxed and you grab hold of him, he'll let you know. This is cool, dude. All right, I guess we're relaxing. And he relaxes. And going back to what I said, man, 80% of our communication is nonverbal.
That's right.
Just throw somebody a glance and they're like, what'd I do?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I get it though. Like having children is a very special thing. It's like once again I can't relate, but I can relate the emotion behind it. The lack of sleep. Like you want to talk about your kids, and people get sick of hearing. You think people get sick of hearing good stuff. You know what I mean? But it's just a societal thing where it's like oh fuck, you know it must be nice attitude, you know, that people have. So then what do? They want to talk about their kids and like, oh, I lost all of this sleep. Once again, it's just straight up pity Olympics where it's like, I think if you're going to talk about your kids, be proud of your kids. Nobody's going to get fucking sick of hearing how good your kids are doing. Surely. You know what I mean? And it's like, you should never, ever stop somebody from praising their children to you.
Now, where do you think us as a species is the negative? Why we go to the negative instead of the positive?
It creates change. Humans change under pressure, right? So once again, it's like if it's not an external pressure, we create this internal pressure. This is probably why, like we do create drama. We create these things that there has to be a good balance of good and bad for humans to progress, right? So we do these things to shake it up a little bit, to change, to learn. So it has to be that, surely. Otherwise, I can't put my finger on it.
So my theory on that is I agree with you. The whole yin and yang. There has to be good and evil. Yeah. The whole world can't sit around a campfire singing Kumbaya.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. Never going to happen. But again, I believe that the negative in the recent generations, right? Maybe, sure, 200 years ago, there was still this type of thing, but nowadays it's because we don't have anything to do. Yeah. And we need a trigger. We need something to get us emotional about something. Aliens. And what's the easiest way to do? Piss you off. Yeah.
We need aliens
and
to come
divide
down and
alienate
shooting up the place. Aliens from the sky coming down, shaking things up. That's the only thing. That's the only thing humans have left, right? Like war doesn't even fucking shake people up anymore. It's such a normal thing. It's televised. Dude, it's fucking everywhere. It's glorified. There's fucking video games about something that's meant to be horrendous. Like there's ads for it on TV, which is bananas. Like it doesn't bother anybody anymore. You know, I've spoken to people.
Desensitized.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, like cops killing people. Like even though it's a small minority of police that are doing it. But now we're starting to get used to it because that's all you fucking see. And it just becomes like this normal fucking thing. Again, another one. You know what I mean? And it's a crazy thing that we keep, I don't know. It has to be something incredibly large. Once again, an extreme amount of pressure for us to change. People never change, man. People never change. Like even at individual level, and then just expand it 7 billion times. People don't change unless they are forced to change.
Now, going back to what you said, an alien coming down.
Oh,
Aliens coming
I
down.
can't wait. I say that.
Dude,
They could come down real bad. They could come down hard though, right?
dude, there's no way the aliens would show up peacefully.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not? Why
Do you
re-
think,
Yeah.
do you think if, wait a minute, do you think if us as humans go to another planet, do you think we're going peacefully?
But humans are shit.
Yeah, but so what does it make it fucking alien? Why? Because they're
all right,
millions of
but-
years older
all right.
than we are?
He's-
Because as a species, we're pretty young.
Doesn't
right?
mean it doesn't. All right. So one, aliens don't necessarily have to be older. Like they could have just went like just like us humans. We've like look at the car. We found a car and we're like that thing kind of works. That's what we're gonna fucking work on forever. This is the model of the car, and we're not changing it because it kind of works. Even though I'm sure if we all sat down and thought about it, we could come up with something better. You know what I mean? So
Well,
aliens
look
are
what
probably
Elon Musk did.
yeah, exactly. It took one weird dude. Pretty sure he's a fucking alien to come along and be like, why don't you just put a big battery in it?
Yeah.
They're faster. They last longer. It's not going to burn the planet down. You know what I
was just
mean?
going to say, eat the ozone.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it took
Yeah.
one bizarre rich dude to come out of fucking nowhere and go, look, just fucking do this. You know what I mean? Like we're so set in our ways. So I think aliens, like, I don't reckon they're going to come down and destroy us. They would have done it already. They would have just come down and just been like, blah.
Like Independence Day, where they come down and just blow everything up.
Yeah. But if they were to come down, we would start the fight.
Oh, good. Ooh. That might. I like that.
We
Yeah.
would start it. You
That's
know
how-
we would.
Yeah.
We see
Yeah.
this thing rock up and we'd like fucking blow it out of the sky,
But-
man. Get rid of it.
But it's okay for us to go and throw our flag in somebody else's sandbox, and we're doing it right.
That's how we. But that's the thing, and that's why aliens won't come here. All right, this is my prediction. Aliens don't come here because we're violent, and they know if they come here, as soon as they land, we're going to take what they have and use it against them, and we're immediately going to be this plague on the universe, this
Yep.
tyrannical, incredibly violent, incredibly dominant, just wiping shit out. But we've like
Yep.
look at humans over the existence of humans and how much flora and fauna we have wiped off this planet. Like any large animal has been fucking murdered by us.
Mm-hmm.
Like it got to the point once again, it's like we got so bored of murdering things that we're like, let's just start murdering each other. Let's have a crack at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we
ultimate
can
predator.
reproduce and kill more of them.
The ultimate
Now-
predator, you know?
The thing too is with aliens, we're so desensitized to that shit. Could you imagine Instagram and Facebook if a spaceship came onto the planet?
Yeah, right?
Nobody'd be scared. They'd be running up with their phone being like, look how many likes I got because I'm right here. And then they get zapped. Then the alien zaps them. Now it's the alien's fault because they zapped them.
Yeah.
And now we got to blow up the alien.
You gotta blow
It's
up
like, dude,
The thing is like, would we handle it? There's like, obviously the story of aliens has been around forever. And anybody who's seen one has shit themselves because it's so odd, so bizarre. Like your brain doesn't recognize it as a normal thing.
Right.
So would we run towards it though? Some people would, but I guess it's like humans. Some run towards it, some run away.
yeah, there'd definitely be some running up going,
Yeah. Let's get a selfie.
yeah, selfie, and then get hurt. And that's their fault that they got hurt. It's the other being's fault.
Yeah, it's
that
like
that person got hurt.
It's like the sharks in the ocean, you know? It's like we're swimming in
that
there.
shark bit me.
We're swimming in their house and they bite you because you're in their house. Let's go kill 1,000 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they endanger us. Come on, dude. Oof.
It's so
like
crazy.
it's like when these people build houses like out in the middle of, I'm going to buy 100 acres in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to put this $2 million mansion in it, in the middle of it. Can you believe it? There's bears here.
Yeah,
we
right.
have to do something about the bear population.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Like you're in their house. Like,
Yeah.
I get like the hunting thing. Like the hunting thing kind of makes sense. There's this, if we as humans want to spread out, you know, and live in yards and stuff, like you're going to take over some of it, but we don't need to kill all of them. Like you don't need to just go around and go, all right, we're rich. Let's wipe bears completely out of this area.
Yeah, because I like this territory where they've been for thousands of years. I just walked in and now, no, you're inconveniencing me, so I'm going to get rid of you.
They're ruining my holiday home that I'll spend 1 week a year here, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Now, that reminds me, when I was out in Denver International Airport, right?
Yeah.
It's out in the desert. Colorado Springs and Denver are mountain country or mountain desert. So it's like 6,000 feet in the air, but technically it's a desert. So now this airport is built. It's an international airport, been there for years and years and years and years. This developer goes and builds a community not too far from the airport. People buy the homes
Yeah, I know.
and then complain that there's air traffic.
Oh yeah, we did that here,
dude. When you were buying the house, did you notice the big airport? It's
we did that. So Sydney did the same. They stopped fly. You can't fly in after 10 o'clock or fly out after 10 p.m. or something, 9 p.m. or whatever. It's like, didn't you know? Like,
yeah, that's just gonna say.
Like
the airport was there. You're building a house. I imagine when that house is being built, there's planes flying over.
Yeah.
And I wonder what that is.
Yeah, everyone does it. There's to Sydney. Sydney, there's like this really like popular like night spot, and so it's like shops and restaurants and cafes and bars below, and it's open all the time, and then people live above it, and people move there. And this place has been around for eons, and they'll buy and they'll move there and then complain that it's too noisy. Like, what the fuck did you expect?
Yeah.
Like you moved on top of a nightclub, and you no, I guess we could sleep through it. Like, no, you're an idiot.
It's like, I'm going to buy this red Ferrari, and then the next day walk out and go, I can't stand red. Why is that car red? Dude, you know.
Why'd they sell me a red car for? I specifically,
What's that?
Why'd they sell me a red car for? That's what that asks. You know, it's that question. Why'd they sell me this one for? And you're like, you bought it.
Yeah. The guy didn't force it on you,
There's
man.
fucking paperwork
There's good
involved.
salespeople out there.
There's no fucking like, it's not like a buying an apple from a shop. There's paperwork involved. There's weeks of, you know, you have to get, like, especially with the house thing, you know, you have to get lawyers involved. There's a period you have to go to the banks. And then finally, when you move in a month later, you're like, it's a little too noisy here. You're like, yeah, it's on top of a nightclub.
Think? Yeah, no shit. Hey, so my wife took, this is before I met her, she took a train ride from Sydney to Perth.
Yeah.
Is that right? Perth?
Yeah. Was it a long train ride?
3 days.
Yeah. Oof. There's not a lot out there either. There is not a lot out there either. I've never done it. I've done like a very tiny fraction of it. I think people don't really understand how big Australia is. So it seems like a terrific idea. It is not. It's horrible. I've heard story, and it's just like, apparently you can just set your cruise control and just let it go. You know?
Like in a car, you mean?
Yeah, just steer with your knees. Just fucking just drive along. Because there is nothing out there.
That sounds incredibly boring.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't even imagine doing it on a train. A train would be the longest 3 days of your life. At least it doesn't stop. Like, you don't need to stop and rest. You can sort of sleep on the train or whatever. But doing it in a car, you can have like music and I don't know. But there's fucking nothing out there, man. There's been so many like stories of like people like, I'm just gonna go see what the Australian desert's like, and they just don't come back because it's so fucking big. It's just like it's so hard to explain to people. Everyone's seen Australia, and it's just like the things on the outside is where people live, and then it's just fucking desert in the middle, and that's it. And it's full of spiders and snakes. Shit that will kill you immediately if you touch it, and lots of poisonous fruit. So it's
and probably some questionable characters live out there too, huh?
Yeah. Have you? There's a movie called Wolf Creek. I don't know if you have it on Netflix. Look it up. Wolf Creek. It's somewhat based off a real guy. There used to be this guy called Ivan Milat. He would pick up hitchhikers and then murder them in the bush. But that was between Sydney and Canberra. Wolf Creek's based in the desert. So similar sort of plot line. You know, you drive out to the desert, your car runs out of fuel. This guy picks you up. He's like, I'll help you out. And then he kills you. That happened. That's a thing. That's a, you know what I mean?
That's probably been a thing over there in that situation for a century or more.
You wouldn't even know. Like that's a thing. Like you wouldn't know if they've just gone missing. You wouldn't know if they've been murdered. You wouldn't know a goddamn thing about it. It's just they're there and then they're not.
Oh,
isn't that wild? It's fucking. There's not like, so even like nowadays, if there's a serial killer, say in America, like there's all cameras along the roads. There's CCTV. There's all that. There's none of that out there, man. It's nothing. It's just one road.
No shit. Just cutting right in half, and that's it.
Right up the guts.
So serial killer stuff, is that big over in Australia as well?
No, we're well adjusted. You know, we have good health care. We have a decent education system. I don't know what stems a serial killer. I have my thoughts on it, but yeah, I don't know. We don't really have them. We've had them, but sure. we don't really do it. We don't have guns here. You know, people are too. You guys
can't own guns. Is that what it is?
Fuck no. So we had a Port Arthur massacre. I think he killed like 50 people. Just there's down the bottom of Australia. There's Tasmania. I think it's there. I don't know. He just went around murdering people, and then immediately after that, they're like, "You guys you fucked it up. Give me all the guns back." You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's somebody ruined it for everyone. Not ruined it, but he did it. You're all going to do it. Give him back. You had your chance. You fucked it, and we don't have guns anymore.
Now, do you guys have here we have like county or city police, we have state police, and we had like federal police.
Yeah.
Do you guys have something broke down like that as well?
Loosely, yeah, but it's a similar sort of thing. But yeah, it's just not as like clear cut as yours. It's not like this really definitive thing. It kind of is, but it isn't. It's, you know what I mean? It's hard to explain. But yeah, there's different police for different states and territories, and then we have the federal police.
Okay, because like I know in Germany, you just had, I think Polizei they call it. That's it. There's anybody that's a policeman in Germany can go anywhere.
Do you think that would work better though?
What's that?
Do you think that would work better?
I think so. I think internally, there wouldn't be the internal stuff. Hey, man, that's my jurisdiction. That's your jurisdiction. Yeah. No, man, we're all in this together.
Because there's been like a fair few cases over there. I don't know about recently of like police not talking to one another. So for Ted Bundy, for any serial killers, for instance, he got away with it for so long because he'd just skip into the next state. And then the police are like, we don't want to give you any information because we want to solve it. And he just went around fucking murdering people. Yeah.
I heard a scenario, why there were so many serial killers back in like the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
MK Ultra.
What's that?
No, MK Ultra.
Yeah. And not so much now.
Why is that?
Lead.
Really?
So like lead paint, lead gasoline.
But then why didn't the rest of the world have it?
That's why I was kind of coming around to that. I was wondering if that's a really good point. Didn't even think of that.
So I think it's like you got to look at the people who are serial killers. Like some of them are really well educated, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like usually like you'd associate like a serial killer once again with somebody with not a lot to lose, a lot of time on their hands. Maybe it came from an abusive family, but some of them were just normal people, grew up okay, maybe a little fucked up, but nothing to warrant like killing 30 or 40 people. But then maybe it was like it's sensationalized over there, it's kind of glorified.
Glorified, yeah. Because like I listened to this one podcast. They do a really good job, and it's not boring talk about serial killers. They put a lot of comedy into it and stuff like that.
What's it called?
And it's Last Podcast on the Left.
Yep. Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, that's a good. I enjoy it a lot. And most of the people they talk about are like in England and of course United States, but I don't hear about like Asia and Germany. I think they did one on somebody in China or Japan, but that's about it. But like 95% of them are in the United States. And I'm like, why isn't the rest of the world have dealt with this? Do they sweep it under the rug? They had it back in the past and they just didn't publicize it. But going back to what you said, maybe because we glorify it. I mean, look at all these true crime fucking podcasts now.
Yeah, and they're all based around, like, you only hear about, like, there's definitely serial killers from around the world, but the American ones, like you feel like you know them. There's documentaries about them. There's fucking movies about them and stuff. But they're definitely everywhere. It's just like a matter of how many, right? So it's like, I think there's a ton of them in Russia. Russia had a few, but then I believe there was a story that came out that they wanted to sort of match America. It was with that, that America / fucking Russia pissing competition that you guys have. It's like who can do what.
Who can do worse?
Yeah, that's right. But I'm just looking through a list of serial killers, and there's a lot of Americans in here. There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the real big ones, Ted Bundy and
Peter Curtin,
and
he looks German.
BTK and
BTK.
all those.
Oh, Australian. Aussie's in here.
Did you get one?
Yeah, Ivan's in here. Old Ivan. But I still wonder what it was. Like, what creates it? There is a conspiracy theory about, like, do you know what MK Ultra is?
Yeah, I heard about it. I don't know much.
So essentially, they'll give them like college students. It's your college, it'd probably be our uni. Like psychoactives at a young age, and it kind of warped their brain. And that's why when they had like discussions with these, and it was all through like the the 60s, 70s or something like that, 50s, 60s, 70s, and they just doped them up, and then released them out to the world. And then there was like a conspiracy that, how it was like the 70s and 80s that were particularly bad for serial killers, and that was a reason why.
Oh, the government had an experiment with LSD and all that, doping everybody up, and it tore them apart.
Yeah, it's a stretch. It's a stretch.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that one. But it is. I guess there is a lot of proof with Charles Manson being in a program where they doped him up and sent him out.
That's right. And then he did the exact same thing to other people. His little camp.
His little band of
he gave them all acid and slowly warped their mind to the point where like they went out and killed for him, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I think there's a lot of like silly little links, and I think it's fun to sort of like entertain the idea that it was possible, but it's a little far fetched. But it's great.
Yeah.
the whole serial killer thing, it's a bizarre, very, very bizarre type thing where it was just very heavily like in just one particular area of time. You know what I mean? I find that's so crazy that it's maybe like with the advancement of technology that it's harder to get around to get to the numbers of a serial killer. But do you think there's like, even in America, how there's like shootings now? It's more of a, rather than over a period of time getting 30 people, they just do it all at once.
Oh, like walk into a crowded mall or a school or something like that.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's the same thing, right? It's like this really over televised, and they're sort of glorified in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, they say that they, like school shootings, they'll report it real, like the day it happened. Then they shut it down because they don't want somebody saying, oh, he killed 30 people. I bet you I could kill 50, and then somebody gets the idea and the copycat thing and all that. So I don't know the whole mass shooting thing. The way I was taught, I know you guys don't have guns, but were you ever use them or familiar with them or anything growing up or anything like that?
No, I've been to like one of those like shooting ranges where you just shoot the clay pigeons.
Okay.
That's it.
I grew up with guns. I got a closet full of them.
Yeah.
That's just part of it. And one of the ways I was taught, and I'll teach my son the same, is they put a revolver on the table next to a spoon. And they say, these two items are the most dangerous items there is. But these two items will sit here and fucking rot away until somebody picks them up and uses them.
Yeah.
That spoon kills more people than that gun will ever think about killing. And it's the person operating that spoon. Because, heart disease and obesity and,
yeah,
we can go on and on and on about that. Sure, we hear about a kid getting a AK-47 and killing 20 people at a school. But what about the hundreds and thousands of people that die of obesity and heart disease every year?
Yeah, I think it's like from an outsider's perspective, and it can only just be me commenting. I think it's more of a mental health issue rather than either of those. You know what I mean? There's a bit of fear, so you buy a gun, right? There's a sense of coolness and a sense of importance when you have a gun, so you buy more. And the obesity thing, a bit of insecurity, a bit of misdirection, don't know where you're headed in life, bit of anxiety, bit of depression. What's the first thing that goes when you're depressed? It's typically your diet. Your diet's the easiest one. Then you sleep, and everything.
Then just escalates everything.
You know what
right?
I mean? You guys, like, what is your mental health system like over there? Do you have one?
Yeah, I don't know much about it. If I was talking to you about it, I don't know. I couldn't really explain much. We have hospitals and programs and that type of thing. But people are so so quick to just drug you.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of seeing, like I had a back surgery. And when I came out of the back surgery, I was uncomfortable. And the nurse was like, what's your comfort level? Or, are you in pain? I go, I'm not in pain. I'm just a little uncomfortable. They shoot me with drugs. I'm like,
wow.
I didn't want that.
Yeah.
And then of course it kicks in and you're like, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But you go to the doctor and you're like, hey man, I'm a little feeling down. He doesn't go, well, do you go out and walk around in the sunshine? What do you eat all day? No, he goes, here's a script.
That's right. Yeah.
See you next. And it's like with coronavirus, is it real? Sure. It's definitely a virus. People have died of it. But how do you combat it? What's it do? You got an immune system. there's millions and millions and millions and millions of viruses that we have to handle every day. Our body's covered in bacteria and stuff like that. We have an immunity to that. Vitamin D. Do you work out? Do you eat healthy? Is your mind pretty good? You know, I think if you sit in a dark dungeon in your mom's basement playing video games all day and eating donuts and ding dongs and drinking Mountain Dew, and all of a sudden you're sick and you're like, oh, I don't know why I'm sick. It must be the government's fault.
Yeah, that's right.
Where does that even come from?
Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, that's just crazy stuff. I mean, everything starts with you.
Yeah.
You know, are you 40 pounds overweight? Whose fault is that?
It's government's.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. I don't want to take that away from them. I understand that the government's going to give you a pill and you're going to drop 40 pounds and look like Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
You don't have to put any work in. Don't ask anybody to work at it.
Yeah. What's crazy about that is like, once again, we all aspire to these individuals, right? This 1% of weird human anomalies. And every single time they have a conversation with one of these people, like, how do you get to where you are? And they're like, hard work and dedication, right? It's like the immediate thing that they say, like you got to trust yourself and then point yourself in a direction and then never fucking give up. Like you're, and then people hear that and then they go, I'm just going to sit on my ass. It's oh,
that's too much. That's too hard.
Yeah.
Now I had my own business for a long time.
Yep.
And I used to speak in front of crowds about entrepreneurship. I owned a successful business, don't have a college degree.
Yeah.
And so they'd say, hey, come tell us how you did it.
I left school.
It's pretty easy how I did it, you know?
Yeah.
But what you're saying, no, get on the path and go straight.
Yeah.
I used a road. So you got a road with a double yellow line and you got a white line on each side, right?
Yep.
You fuckers go on the other side of the road, but that's besides the point.
We're backwards down here. Oh, wait, no, you guys are backwards.
I was waiting for you to fucking say that. But
you guys are fucking backwards and you fucking
exactly.
driving your steering wheels on the other side and shit. What the hell?
Hey, do you know why you guys drive on that side of the road?
Because we're smart.
Do you know the history? Nah, well, that's point could be argued. Do you know the history behind that?
Why?
Is your English colony, right, originally?
Yeah.
And they drive on their side of the road. Do you know why?
Why?
Goes back to the jousting days where the knights would be on horses and fucking joust.
Yeah.
You keep your enemy to your power side, which most people are right-handed.
Ah, there you go.
So that's it. That's the history. But I love little fucking stupid facts like that.
It's such a weird thing to
I
carry on over into, cars, jousting with horses and spears. So we're going to apply that to you driving your car.
Yep.
The government.
Well, so here's a great story about tradition. So these two soldiers were guarding park bench. And the commander says, why are you guys guarding that? And he says, because that guy told us to. And I'm going to shorten it way up. It's actually like a really long story, but I'll shorten it up.
All right.
So the guy goes to the commander of those two guys. He goes, why are you guarding that? He says, that's my commander did. He went back to that commander. He says, why are you those guys guarding that? He goes, because that's what my commander did. And he got a commander that was like 60 years ago, he's like 80 years old. He goes, hey man, these two guys are guarding a bench. Why? He goes, is the paint still wet?
That's spot
So
on.
with traditions, like where do these come from? So I like to find out that I just love interesting shit, dude.
Yeah.
And the tagline of my show is everyone you meet knows something you don't.
That's right. That's
So when
exactly
you're
right.
sitting there talking, right, and find out shit we don't know, but
What business
I didn't
did you
know where
have? Sorry. What business did you have?
Sorry, man. I knew I was going to go. I wanted to make this point with you with the road. So an example that I would use in business, and obviously you can apply with anything, is have a goal, right? And you know where you want to go. So that's your double yellow line.
Mm-hmm.
You see it down, especially if this is for the flat earthers. You can see it forever, right? Because the earth doesn't curve. So you can see it forever. You know that's where you're going to go. Shit's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Shit's always going to happen to you. So you're going to veer a little bit to the right and you're going to veer a little bit to the left. If you're within the, what the example that I used was when it was a video and photo company I had. When we first started, I knew my goal, but I still had to keep the refrigerator full.
Yeah.
So I'm going down the yellow line and somebody on the white line goes, hey, I'll pay you $500 to do this. Okay. So I veer a little bit to the right. I'm still on the yellow or on the white line. I can still see my goal, but I'm making an adjustment to keep me moving forward. Yeah. So that's the short version of an example I would use to like motivate me. Be like, just stay on the yellow line, dude.
Yeah. I think for me, it's like I do something similar in terms of like goal setting. A lot of people like to set big goals like that. They got point A, point B, or more like point A, point Z, and they want to get there immediately, and they never ever factor in the steps to get there, and two, the things that are trying to knock them off. You know, there's always going to be something trying to sway you off that path from A to Z. There always is. Yep. From the start line to the finish line, it's never a straight road. But if you don't have those other goals in place, those interim goals, you know, B, C, D, if you don't have those in place, you have no guidance. You just gotta what you think is the direct route. But yeah, it's businesses are funny, and I've seen so many businesses, and I guess just like any sort of goal setting. Once again, it's so easy to pack it in at the first sign of failure. You know what I mean? It's easier to be, oh, I gave it a shot and I gave it up, rather than, you know, trying to drive it home. It's easier to just go, like, even with my business, there's been so many times where I've been like, I'm fucking finished. I'm so done with this bullshit. But I've been sort of blessed in a way that every single time I went to hang up the boots, something's come along and gone, like, here's a big order, or here's a new business you can work with, or something like that. And it's kind of gone, like, kicked my ass back into onto that path. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I believe that when things get a little tough, that means something really good's about to happen. Just keep going, dude.
The change, right? It's that change.
Yep, exactly right.
Beautiful.
It's putting enough pressure on you to see if you can handle it. Next. And what I do is I say, okay, I want to go from A to Z. Well, to get to Z, I need to do these steps.
Yeah.
And go, same thing, exactly what you're talking about. I reverse engineer it and go, okay, right? So, okay, I get here, because then that'll be here. And a really good example is that when I set my podcast up, I got the idea. It was burning in me for a long time. And I did the cliche thing. If you can't get it out of your mind, you just got to do it.
Yes.
Right. So I put a business plan together, because that's my mindset.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, eventually I want to be at this point. So reverse engineer it. I need this. I need some equipment. Okay. I'm going to put 25 episodes together on SoundCloud, and I'm going to purposely make it hard for people to find.
Yeah.
So now I got 20, and while those 25 are going, I'm going to build my YouTube channel, going to build my website, going to do this. So I just had the steps. Boom. And when did it, April, I launched on like Libsyn. So then it went out to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, man. Just break it down into biteable, how to eat an elephant. One bite at a time, right?
That's exactly right. You're not going to get from A to Z in one bound. You're going to have to, take the steps along the way. I think it's, but once again, it's a thing with like social media and stuff. How you see like a fucking 19-year-old with a Mercedes in a car, and he's like, "If you guys work hard, you'll get here too." And you're like, "Fuck you, man! You didn't work hard." What do you mean you fucking?
Rented that. Your brother rented that for the day.
Your fucking dad bought it for you, bum.
Yeah,
Like, you didn't work shit. Yeah. So it's like, but that thing always sits in your head. But then there's other people who do hard work. Like this can always be related back to the gym, and you'll see people do these massive changes, and everybody praising them, but you never see like in the middle. You know what I mean? You never see the journey. It's always A to B, or A to Z rather. You know, like this is what I was, and this is what I am now. You could do it too. Fuck off. It's not that easy. Like you have to put the work in. You have to go to the gym. You have to eat your food. You have to get your sleep correct. You have to get your water correct. Nobody tells you about that stuff.
No, that's work, dude.
Yeah.
You know, the consistent, monotonous, boring things added up is, to me, that's what has gotten me to the successes that I have. And who wants to watch that? Nobody wants to see that.
At all.
No, nobody wants to see you in the gym every day. You know, if you post every day that you're in the gym, eventually people are going to be like, dude, just fucking enough, man. Because they get upset that they're not doing it. Or they're like, fuck, dude, just, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And I post in my stories, I take like a artistic picture in the gym. I don't post myself at the gym. I just take a kind of fun picture and I put some stuff from my swag on there and I post it. That's it. And I hashtag consistent, and the shit ain't going to lift itself, and move on, dude. That's my saying I've been saying forever, dude. Shit ain't going to lift itself.
Shit ain't going to lift itself. And that's a life motto. That is like, if you're not lifting your weight or some weight in the gym, or you're not lifting your own weight in your own life, fucking it ain't happening. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't
going to happen.
Yeah, that's right.
You got computer, right? Up there?
Yeah.
Look on did you check out my website?
I'll chuck it up again now. I think it was up here before. Give me a sec.
I heard you mention you're working on your website. I want to talk to you about that.
Got a bit of a website up now. Just super basic. I just made it myself. It's just like I found that, like, especially with podcasting, like everything is like really spread out. In terms of like when you upload it, I use Anchor. I used to use like whatever it was, but I'm on Anchor now, and that sends it out, and you can sort of do it through there. And then I got YouTube, and then this goes to Twitch, and then it goes to Facebook, and I just set up like a Reddit page, and I was like, I just wanted like a hub, like something that I can update easily, and just everybody can just go to the website, and then if you want to go here, you can go here, and if you want to go there, you can go there.
That's what I did on mine. I built mine through Squarespace.
Yeah. So I did mine through, mine's called, I went through GoDaddy, which is the same shit. Same shit.
Yep. Different name.
Oh, I actually liked it. I liked your website, actually. I was going to talk to you about it because yours is much better than mine.
What I want you to do, once you pull it up.
Yep.
Go to the merch.
Yeah. Hold up. Let me swap this over so everyone can see.
I think you'll get a kick out of this.
Okay. Up to the merch.
And then scroll down to the featured.
You got it all, man. What do you mean featured?
So are you on the merch?
Yeah, I'm on the merch.
Or on the website?
Yeah.
So you see my face, right?
Yeah. Welcome to the store.
Right underneath that, on the left-hand side.
The shit ain't gonna lift itself.
Yeah. Then if you read the description, you click on the link.
Read more about it and see the full line here. Is that the one?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Oh, that's sick. Oh, damn.
And what I talk about is who's like, if you're sitting there on Tuesday night and the garbage has got to go out to be picked up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Who's going to do it? Shit ain't going to lift itself, man.
Yeah, it ain't. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's 100% right. It's, small constant changes means you don't have to do a big change later as well. If you constantly clean your room, then you're never going to have a messy room. You know, it's never going to get to the point where you're so stressed and like, fuck, I've got all this stuff to do. Yeah.
And that's where,
oh, sorry, you go.
and that's where like I get up in the morning because, you know, with the family and work and all that, an hour each morning, I just have a list. I click away at the list and I just little piece at a time, dude.
That's it.
And it all adds up.
You chip away at it, man. Chip away.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I did, Walt. I gotta wrap it up, man. I gotta get some
Yeah,
work
no problem,
done.
dude.
Thank you so much for
Same
the
here.
chat. These are my favorite chats. Nothing specific, just getting in there, jamming it out, talking, shooting the shit. But this is fun. Next, when you want to jump back on, let me know, man. I'm more than happy to sit down and have another chat with you any day of the week, man.
Yeah, I gotta get you on my show as well.
Yeah, whenever you
That
want.
would be cool.
Yeah, whenever.
You got merch yet?
Like I kind of got a couple of shirts made that I'm gonna I think I made up a bunch of 10 just to see how they went. And I've given about 3 out, and I'm sort of just hanging on and sort of sending them out as I please. But other than that, not really, not yet. Nothing too major.
You get into what's helped me out is the print on demand.
Yeah, I tried that, and it was a weird thing. I had to find like an Australian company for it. So I went for an American one, and it was like a weird mix between Australian dollar and US dollar.
Okay.
So it ended up like I set it to the price that they wanted, and then there was like a transfer fee, and it ended up costing me money, so I tanked it. I got rid of it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But it's a good idea.
I was gonna because I like to do with guests. You know, we chats like this. I like to do merch swap. Like I'll send you a shirt, you send me a shirt, kind of thing.
100%, man. Send me your address, man. I'll hook you up. I'll send one over.
Okay, and then do me a favor. Just look on the merch. Look through the merch store.
Yep.
And just pick something out, man. Just holler at me what you want.
Legend. I'd love to do that. That's
Yeah.
great. That's such a good idea. I might start implementing that myself.
Yeah,
The old
it's
merch
just-
swap.
Yeah, I send you a shirt, you send me one, and then next one show I'm on like this, I got your shirt on. People are like, "What's up with that?" Ah, man, you got to talk to this dude.
I love it. That's a great idea. That's what I'm doing from now on. Fantastic. I'll hit you up. Like I said, send me your address and I'll post one out to you.
Okay, bud.
Alright, legend. Well, once again, is there anything you want to leave with? I'm gonna link all your stuff anyway in the description. But do you have a final message?
Nah, what I usually say is, don't act cool, be cool.
Oh, that's perfect. That is spot on.
All right, buddy.
Alrighty, legend. See you later, Bob.
I'll talk to you, man.
All right,
See ya.
have a good one. Bye. All right, let's see if I can figure this out like usual. It's not going to work. What am I doing? What do I even try for? Just hates me for some reason. Walt, what a legend. I love those conversations. These are like weird, like just, it's crazy the people you meet. Just there's so many interesting people out there, and I think in a world full of fucking hating everybody and trying to fucking do this weird pissing competition with everybody in your life, take a step back. You don't even need to start a podcast. Just start chatting to people, because you meet people like Walt, who's a fucking legend. That's why I started the podcast. That's why I want to do this stuff, and I love it. It's great. I had a lot of fun. Maybe too much fun. Other than that, guys, that's probably it for a while. That's all I've got booked in for a hot minute. I probably need to take a step back, reevaluate. I'm going to try and get some not bigger guests on, but maybe some more topic orientated. I've been a bit selfish lately and just sort of recording, just people I want to talk to, just have a good yarn with. I might try and get a couple more people who are a bit more, specific. So if you guys have any ideas, head over to WAWDH, .com.au and leave some suggestions. There's like a little box, and if you hit the little box and type in the message, it comes straight to me, and it'll be good. Even if you just want to leave some feedback, that'd be awesome. Other than that, have a great weekend. If you're Australian, have a great weekend whenever your weekend is. Get into some trouble, get into some mischief, treat yourself. You've earned it. We've all been through enough. Have a good one. See you later.